All right, so here it says Maribel says that a chord is part of a secant, but David says that a chord is different from a secant. Now, I want you to explain why Maribel and David are both correct. Yes, and they are both correct. So why are they both correct? So I want you to just pause this video and just kind of think a little bit. Why are they both correct? Now, let's remember, a secant is a line, which means it goes infinitely in both directions, and it's a line that cuts through a circle and it comes out, right? Kind of like an arrow. And an arrow in both directions, right? So it goes infinitely in both directions. It goes into the circle and out the opposite direction. Now, a chord is different in the sense that it does intersect two endpoints of a circle, but it doesn't come out of a circle. And I kind of gave you the answer. If you want, you can go back to your pictures, and here's the two chords in blue. As you can see, these are two line segments. They are contained inside the circle here. And if we instead look at the secant, as you can see, it goes through the circle and comes out the other end. Now, what do they have in common? So we know what's the difference, obviously, but what do they have in common? Well, they both have two endpoints in the circle. They go, they have both two endpoints. So if you see any other things that they have in common, go ahead and type that in, pause the video and type that in. Okay, so what is the longest chord in the circle? This is a very interesting question. What do you think is the longest chord in a circle? So let's go back to our chord picture. So what do you think is the longest? Now let's just compare these two that we have. Do you think BD is longer or is AC longer? If you said AC, you are right on it. That is correct. AC, the diameter, is the longest chord. Now, why? Because the diameter, remember, it consists of two radii. So it consists of two radii, and so hence it is the longest chord. BD is slightly smaller. Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about a tangent. So if you've ever heard of people say, I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, it kind of means that they're kind of going off topic, kind of not in the topic. Maybe they've mentioned something that has to do with the topic at hand, but then they just kind of bounce off and go off to the next subject. So kind of think of that maybe to help you know what a tangent of a circle is in this case. It's a line that intersects a circle at exactly one point. So if you've ever thrown a rock on a river and you kind of bounced it on the river, skipping rocks, it kind of just goes right on the surface and keeps bouncing off. Same thing with the tangent. It just touches it on the surface and keeps go right along forward. So that point where it brushes the circle and keeps going is called the point of tangency. So let's go ahead and draw a picture of this. Like we always do, we're going to take a screenshot of it. And then let's go to our photos and mark it up. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw this. So we're going to use the straight edge. And like I said, it only touches the circle at one point. So I'm going to go ahead and draw I'm going to just make it green this time. So here is my tangent line. And it's a line, so it goes infinitely on both directions, and as you can see, it kind of just touches the circle at that one point. I'm kind of highlighting it, really big, huge point, but just kind of showing you that point is the point of tangency, right? And the tangent of a circle is the actual line.